Bhakti Lata Bija. What is that seed? That is seed of love. That is seed of love. See, I want that all the devotees, the basics should be so very strong. Because if the roots are not strong, this creeper of love will never grow. One needs to have very strong roots. The basics. Very clear. Foremost thing in bhakti is not seva. It is premamai seva. Seva, naam, they are not, the understanding is not apt. It is premamai seva, premamai naam. Seva must be done with love. Premamai. Don't forget this word, prem. Loving devotional service. As we often read and speak. Loving. That love. During the course of time, the devotees, 5, 10 years, 15, 20 years, they forget this essential part, love, and just become ritualistic devotees. This is the essence of everything, love. I want everyone to come back to this essence, and what Babaji Maharaj explains in this book, page 36 and subsequent pages, that the service is of two types to the Guru. One is Samanya Seva and other is Vaishishtya Litsu Seva. What is Samanya Seva? In Samanya Seva, the Shravan and Kirtan of Radha Krishna, they are the primary angas of bhakti, the limbs of bhakti, and serving Guru, worshipping Guru, and offering him prasadi and Krishna's eminence and all that, that is the secondary element. That is not the primary anga. And what is Vaishishtya Lipsu Seva? Vaishishtya Lipsu Seva is you are just totally working, inhaling, breathing, inhale for the pleasure of Guru. You don't even inhale without his pleasure. That is Vaishishtya Lipsu Seva. Bhakti is with love. You don't even inhale. Your life is offered at Guru's lotus feet. Total offering. Samat Swaha. Gurudevaya Swaha. This is one form of love. We total offer your life at the lotus feet of the spiritual master. This element of love we should remember day in and day out. Other is Samanya Seva. But that is not Samanya. Only the name is Samanya. Samanya means ordinary, normal. That is not ordinary or normal. The technical name is Samanya. In its essence, it is the highest form of love. The roots have to be very, very strong. Ask yourself, what are we doing? Is it either Vaishishtya Lipsu, inhaling for the pleasure of Guru? Or is it Samanya, or is it none of these? The answer would normally be none of these. So actually this is not if we accept reality, bhakti has to be either of the two. Not a mix of the two, not whenever I feel like I do this, I feel like I do that. No. Prem means total offering. Prem mange 16 ana. It means complete offering of the spirit. Prem, love. Love means it gives all and takes all. It gives all. To give to Guru or give to Radharani. Now the question is why? Babaji Maharaj explained everything in his books. If Krishna becomes merciful on us, then we will understand those deep treasures. When we serve Radharani in our Siddha Deha, our Shravan, our Kirtan, our Smaran, she becomes pleased. And the happiness she gets by our services, we get that happiness only from her heart. How a Jiva experience happiness? This is a science, understand it. This is a very deep topic. By your service touches Radharani's heart, God's heart, and that in turn comes back to you manifold. This is science of how a Jiva can get happiness. There is no other way, na gatiranyatha. No other way. Similarly, when Guru is being served, in Guru's heart is Radharani. Bhakti Maharani's throne, Guru's heart. So when our service touches the Guru's heart, he becomes happy. Radharani inside becomes happy. God becomes happy. The same happiness transferred to you. Until unless you do loving devotion, so you can never become happy, never have satisfaction. Satisfaction is not by our own endeavors. It is prasadeva kevalam. Mat prasadat param shanti. By my mercy, you get happiness, you get bliss, you get love, you get everything. How can you get her mercy or his mercy, Krishna's mercy? You have to satisfy him, not by our endeavors. And the path is either of the two, and we have to stick to one. Always remind yourself, it is like Chanchalami Mana Krishna, always as per mind I am going sometimes here, sometimes there. This is not. Chanchalami Mana is actually self-torture, self-violence. You're giving violent to your own self. Sometimes going there, sometimes here, sometimes doing this, sometimes that. This is self-violence. Because you will never become happy. Ultimately, what do we want? Manjari Bhava is the highest happiness. That's a different issue. Ultimately, we want to be happy. But happiness can only come when you touch God or Guru's heart. This is the science. We should never forget this word, Premamai Seva. Premamai has to be with Prema. The essence of all scriptures, everything is, we should do few things and we should not do few things. What are those few things? The absolute do's, abhyasentu konteya, vairagyencha griyate, Krishna himself says. And in the form in which we can all understand this thing, I have explained here. All I need is love, loving devotion. Without love, you cannot be happy. Baba is explained in Vilap Kusumanjali, Sudhanidhi, many places, Prem Bhakti Chandrika, many places, Prem and Ananda. All I need is love. What love? Reciprocated love. Not this our bodily love. Lord Ram says, Janani Janak Bandhu Sutdara Tanu Dhan Bhavana Surid Parivara Sabke Mamata Tag Batori Mam Padma Nahi Bandh Bari Dori. What does this verse say? Janani Janak Bandhu Sutdara. Janani means your mother, your father, Bandhu, your friend, brother, Suta, your son, daughter, Dara, your wife, your husband. Janani Janak Bandhu Sutdara. Tanu, your body, Dhan, money. Tanu Dhan Bhavan means your building, residence, office. Tanu Dhan Bhavana Suhrid parivara, your well-wishers, friends, your family, your friends. You have all, now you have loving propensity inside you. That is why I am explaining this thing. All I need is love. We all have loving propensity inside us. But what have we done with it? We have channelized it in various places. Family, money, husband, wife, kids, and everything. What is Lord Ram saying? Maryada Purushottam. Lord Ram. What is he saying? Sabke mamta tag batori, mam pad manhi band bari dori. You have, channelized loving propensity. So many people don't do this. What do? Like there is a rope. A rope is made of strands. Strands. Little strands, and you have just from little strands you have tied to different people. What you do, Lord Ram is saying, catch all these strands, tie them, and just hold them to the lotus feet of the Lord. Don't misdirect your loving propensity. So all I need is love. But how can you get love? You can get love only by giving love. Love is reciprocated love, which we are in search of. Reciprocation from the Lord. Reciprocated love. So we need to understand these things. What is love? And we should be doing Premamai Seva. We are all particles of service. What are we in essence? What is soul? I am not body, I am soul. That is okay, but what is soul? Soul in essence is Chit Kant, a particle of conscience, particle of service, meant to serve. So unless we understand these things in depth, two don'ts and two do's, the CDs which you have of lectures, they are explaining just this thing, imbibing Manjari Bhav. Two do's, what are the two do's? Imbibing Manjari Bhav and Vaishnava Seva. Heart touching, heart touching word we should never go. Vaishnava Seva is, we heard it zillions of times. Heart touching, Manomai. Bhakti means Manomai Seva. Manomai means as per the mind of Radharani is Samanya Seva. As per the mind, as per the happiness of Guru or Ved. That is heart rendering Vaishnava Seva. And this will not fall upon us. We have to learn these things. Why to do, how to do. We need to have the right atmosphere. So rendering Vaishnava Seva, imbibing Manjari Bhav. These are the absolute two do's one must do. And what are two don'ts? The two don'ts are no gross sense gratification, good food and car, home and mobiles and this and the money and gross sense gratification. And subtle sense gratification is, this verse is not generally discussed amongst devotees, but in my opinion this is a most important verse in Bhagavad Gita, 1863. 1863. We generally want people to do things our way. That is subtle sense gratification. You may not be able to somehow appreciate these few things right now. I have given a series on all these topics. Many series on each topic. This love is a series of eight sessions. Sense gratification, 11 sessions. Subtle sense gratification, 6. Vaishnava Seva, many. So we need to see, there is a tank which you are trying to fill with love. Tank, water tank, you are trying to fill with love. But the problem is, if you do any of these two don'ts, gross sense gratification and subtle sense gratification, you yourself are making a hole in your tank. So whatever you are putting, that is going down the drain. It's an absolute dire necessity not to be indulging in these things. If you do, you're ruining your labor of love, which you're trying to please the Lord, Guru, but you do this and you ruin yourself. If you want to protect your devotion, these two don'ts are an absolute must. And of course, we have to do these things simultaneously, not one after the another. Simultaneously. Keep on imbibing Manjari Bhav, keep on doing heart-rending Vaishnava Seva. Heart-rending. And understand these things in detail. No gross sense gratification and no subtle sense gratification. What I really want to convey through the session is, please understand once and for all, for eternity, bhakti is science. Bhakti is pure science. Bhakti is science. We have to do two do's and two don'ts. Anarth pravriti, anarth nivriti and arth pravriti. These things have to go on simultaneously. Arth pravriti means imbibing and anarth nivriti means getting rid of. Getting rid of your desire to, love material people, money, desire for person should do as per my way. We have to get rid of this desire. This is anartha nivritti. Normally, when we get siddha deha and we get initiated into the bona fide paramparas, what do? We just try to imbibe the Manjari Bhav as soon as possible and forget everything which we have learned for the last 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. The very basics. Need to have very strong roots, and these are all the acharyas are explaining these things only in different words. What I could do was, in nutshell, what do scriptures tell us to do? This is in nutshell. You can never forget this. In nutshell, this is the essence of everything, which is explained in thousands of lectures by thousands of acharyas over thousands of years. This is the essence of everything. And Babaji Maharaj is explaining on page 36.
What book is it?
Sadhya Sadhan Tattva. Sadhya Sadhan Tattva Vikya. He's explaining, Jiva Goswami explains in Bhakti Sandarbha, Tathapi Vaishishya Lipsu Shaktashreta Tataha Bhagavad Shastra Updeshtanam Bhagwan Mantra Updeshtanam Va Shri Guru Charanam Nityam Eva Visheshtaha Sevam Kuryat. The meaning is Bhagavad Shastra Updeshtanam. He is saying, Jiva Goswami is saying, one who explains the scriptures to us, to the devotees. Bhagavad Shastra Updeshtanam. One who reveals the scriptures. That is the Shiksha Guru. Bhagwan Mantra Updeshtanam. One who has given you the mantras. Your initiating spiritual master. Shri Guru Charanam Nityam. Every day, Nityam means every day without break. Visheshtam Seva Kurya. Do special service unto their lotus feet. This is Jiva Goswami's essence. How to serve. Our loving propensity, if it cannot be engaged at Guru's lotus feet, then I don't think it can be engaged at Vaishnava's lotus feet. Can you do heart-rending service to Vaishnavas without rending heart-rending service to Guru? Ask yourself. I met a renunciate here in Kunda only, some time back. I told him, you're staying here, you don't even go for darshan for your Gurudev for so many weeks. You don't have that much burning desire to serve your Guru. How will you have that? How will you achieve siddhi of serving your Guru eternally? In the spiritual world, every day you're serving your Guru. You don't have burning desire. So the roots have to be very, very strong. And one must understand from Chaitanya Charitamrita also, from Jiva Goswami's commentary on Bhakti Sandarbha, he is saying that one should serve the initiating and the instructing spiritual master Nityam Eva. specially, in a special way. Both the Shiksha Guru or the Diksha Guru are the manifestations, equal manifestations of the absolute truth. They are the equal manifestations of the absolute truth of the Lord, the personified form of mercy. So there is no difference. Kaviraj explains Shiksha Guru ke Ta Jani Krishnera Swarup. I think it's 147 something CC Adi. So there is no difference. Ultimately, you're getting Krishna through any of your gurus. One, you're getting Krishna through the mantras, and you're getting Krishna through the instructions to the scriptures, the explanation of the scriptures. Ultimately, through Guru, you get only one thing, Krishna. So they are both equal manifestations. It is very simple. There is no confusion. Actually, the beauty of knowledge is it is always very simple. Knowledge is never very complicated. Knowledge is by nature simple. And what do we have to do? We just have to solve the complexities of our mind. That's all. What is bhakti? It's solving the complexities of the mind and it becomes simple. Santa Hriday Navneet Samana. Santa Hriday means the heart of the devotee is like a butter. Butter. Very soft. No confusion. It's very simple. I have to do loving devotion service to devotees I meet. Guru. If I'm in Leela. Go with Leela. Bhakti is very simple. That service has to be heart touching. Must touch that person's heart so that he can really bless you from the heart. This is the science of receiving blessings. And a very common thing which I hear from devotees, I take instructions about my spiritual life from so and so. This is very kiddish. Because a devotee has only one life. He is not living two lives. He has only one life. Not material and spiritual, they are not two different lives. No, he has only one life. Very soft life, the devotee is serving the Lord or the devotees or Guru very lovingly. That's all. This is life. You talk with everyone with ati sneha, extreme affection. You have no problem with anyone. You talk everyone with extreme affection. Baba is explaining all this in Sudhanidhi, Kusumanjali. Ati sneha. He has only one life. Ati sneha purvak life. You know sneha, affection. Ati means lot of. Extreme sneha. Extreme affection. With extreme affection, serve Radharani. With extreme affection, chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. With extreme affection, serve Guru, serve Vaishnavas. Don't, as I said in the morning lecture, don't cut the spirit. Become spiritual. If you cut off the spirit, the juice of the wisdom is lost in the activity. When we do an activity, it should be filled with juice of wisdom. What is this juice of wisdom? Premamai. And if you do any activity without understanding why I am doing what I am doing, it will be a ritual. Maximum you can get is Sukriti, not Bhakti. Bhakti mai Sukriti. The spirit should never be lost, spirit of love. And what I have explained, you may get inspired to follow, but without regular association or so, it will be very difficult to follow because we have tendency of forgetting. So, be in the association of those devotees who are really following these things, either of the two. Ask yourself right now, which of the two bhakti I am really doing? Is it Samanya Seva, totally into Leela? Maybe 15 hours into Leela every day? Then sleeping 6 hours and taking food and little bit, that's all. Is it a 15-hour Leela Chintan, or totally for inhaling for the pleasure of Guru. This is Vaishishtya Lipsu. Is it either of the two? If it is not, then I am not really focused. I am doing self-violence. Doing torture to my own self-torture. Torture to my own self. We are not creating problem for anyone else. We are our own biggest enemy. We are not understanding premam prem. We don't know what is love. Premamai seva. Please understand, your well-being is your well-being. Your psychological well-being is not your well-being. Your physical well-being is not your well-being. You, the soul's well-being I am pointing to. Again and again. Your well-being, you, the soul's well-being is love. To love. Your well-being is different from your psychological well-being, which you think is your well-being. See, soul, subtle body, gross body. Okay. Psychological is just related to the mind, it is not related to you. Ego. You feel good, so what? But you are not happy. Soul is not feeling anything. So he is just misidentifying. Your well-being is only your well-being. Your psychological well-being is not your well-being. Oh, I am feeling good. So what? It is illusion. In 11th canto, 112255. Mano Brahmat. Bhagavad 11:22-55. It is just illusion of the mind. You, the soul, has to get happiness. Your psychological well-being is not your well-being. Your physical well-being is not your well-being. It is not related to you. How can it be your well-being? Anything related to your physical is not related to you. Anything related to your body is not related to you at all. Anything related to your ego, mind, it is not related. Your well-being is your well-being. Your psychological well-being, I am feeling bad, it is all kiddishness. We ultimately, सबके ममता ताग बटोरी मम पद मन ही बांध बरी डोरी. Hey, this is the essence. You have just done one thing, just your loving propensity, you are channelized in very many places. Until unless we stop this thing and let's say there are 10 strands. 10, Rama is explaining this thing, Lord Rama. 10 places here, channelize your loving propensity. You just do one thing like this. One rope and bind it with Lords or Guru, whatever. Until unless we come to this, happiness will be a foreign thing, alien thing to us. Having any of these things, you are welcome. Otherwise, we are continuing the way we are. बहुजन में यदि करे श्रवण कीर्तन तबु तो न पाए कृष्ण पदे प्रेम धन. This essence of love, this love topic, everyone speaks. It is just like, love topic is just like a ghost. Everyone speaks of it, no one has seen. Very few people have experienced ghost. What is a ghost in reality? This is love. Loving devotional service. Many people think here, whatever. But to really assimilate the essence and put it in practice, this is what will take us to Siddhi.